You wanna know why your back isn't growing? For the first 2 years of my training journey, I didn't really have much of an idea about back training, and so my back was lagging. I never felt my back during back exercises, but then I faced the following things and my back started growing tremendously, and ever since then it has been one of my strongest body parts. So, why isn't your back growing? It's because you're not training it. But what do you mean, bro? I do pull-ups and rows. The problem is you're turning these back exercises into bicep exercises. Most people in a commercial gym have absolutely zero idea how to perform a row. They all pull with their biceps. And if you're guilty of that as well, here's the fix. Pull with your elbows. When you're doing the row, pull your elbow up and not just the bar in your hand. Try to completely forget about the weight in your hands and concentrate on pulling your elbows up. This applies to every row. Dumbbell row, barbell row, cable rows, any implement. Also, I think it's pretty common sense that you're not going to be rowing like this. You're going to pull your shoulders back like this. Now, if you have difficulties concentrating on pulling with your elbows and forgetting that there's something in your hand, you can use straps. But after you have learned to row properly, try leaving the straps wherever you can. Because in the long run, you only want to use straps where your grip is the limiting factor, where it shouldn't be. And while you are using straps, you should do forearm isolation on the side. To be able to do all of this, you will have to lower your weight. I'm sorry, I know your ego felt good that you were rowing I don't know how many kgs or pounds, but you're watching this video because you want to grow your back and not your ego. So use a load where you can concentrate on this. Also, stop using body English. This should be pretty self-explanatory. When it comes to rows, you're not trying to grow your lower back, you're trying to grow your upper back. Another good fix is to replace pull-ups temporarily with lat pull-downs. If you're turning back exercises into bicep exercises, chances are your pull-ups won't be as good either. That's probably because chances are you cannot do as many pull-ups, and therefore you're just trying to use whatever technique you can to do a couple. That's why swapping out pull-ups and chin-ups for lat pull-downs for a short period is probably beneficial, because there you can focus more on pulling with your elbows. But again, after you have learned the technique properly, switch back onto pull-ups, chin-ups, whatever you were doing before. Isolation, although it's not necessary, it might be a good idea. You can do pullovers, you can do it with a dumbbell or a pullover machine, and you can do the cable alternative, although that might be inferior. And also just pick movements that you feel in the right place. Try to experiment which movements work for you. While most of the times you shouldn't rely on pump and muscle soreness, here it could be utilized. Try doing a back exercise on a day where you don't have a bicep exercise. After you've done all of your sets on your back exercise, if your biceps are more pumped than your back, you're probably fucked. And also the next day, if you get sore, if you got more sore in your biceps than in your back, again, chances are you're probably fucked. Based on this, you can experiment with what form works for you and which exercises work for you. But do not rely solely on this, okay? If your back is growing but your bicep is getting more sore and all of that, it doesn't matter, okay? As long as you're growing, it doesn't matter. If you're not growing, it does matter. Now you will be able to train your back correctly, and hopefully in a year you will not be able to fit through door frames. But you will also need to bulk, so check out my video where I tell you 6 reasons why you should bulk here.